We're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talking Turf with me and Gary. What a weekend, eh?
Good.
You've got 60 seconds to grab a cuppa, grab a drink, and we're going to lock down the Premier League results from last weekend. See you in 60. Yes, welcome back, everybody. As you can probably tell by my voice, what a game we were at the weekend, eh?
Oh, it was good.
Jesus, I'm hoping I'm all right for Thursday. Honestly, I thought I was having a heart attack in them stands. I said that to you at the time, didn't I?
You did.
Probably. Back pains and everything. Right, so just quickly though, before we get on to the Premiership, I just want to quickly jump on to Middlesbrough and Sunderland, the local team. Middlesbrough won 1-0 and Sunderland won 3-2 away at Swansea. So both Sunderland and Middlesbrough make the top 6 of the Championship. Gary, the Championship looks like Sheffield United, Leeds, Burnley, Sunderland, Blackburn, and Middlesbrough. That's absolutely fantastic for the north of England, isn't it?
Absolutely, mate. Like we said, that's what we want back in the Premier League. We just want them to be closer to it. The faster the likes of Palace and that leave the league, the better. But they've picked up a good few wins. You want your local teams to be in the run, so. Hopefully, we'll get a few local teams back in the Prem.
Apparently, I've heard Sunderland could get Jack Clark back from Ipswich, and also Jordan Henderson's interested in coming over. Gary, if that happens and they make a couple of our signings, they're in a good position, like at Christmas here. That's the reason why they kind of come back up. I think Jordan Henderson will be a fantastic signing for them.
Mint. I honestly thought when he come back from Saudi, I thought that should have been his move then in the summer. I thought Sunderland should have went out from him. I'm sure they probably did try and tempt him. Maybe he thought Ajax was a good offer. They had obviously the European football and stuff, and maybe it was more his head over his heart. That's made him make that decision. But I can see that, and there's probably there might be another one or two. Sunderland, I think, should be trying to get a couple of other local lads, professionals, to come in. I was talking to someone at the weekend, and they reckon who were they booked for? Longstaff. I don't know if they said Leeds, but
Sean
Longstaff.
Longstaff's in abroad somewhere, I think,
But I mean, Sunderland have got to be looking at fringe players in the Premiership, I think, to follow us for the rest of the season. You're there or thereabouts, and if you can make that and you can attract them to come in, they're playing decent stuff. So you only need one or two, and it can be the difference. There's got to be people out there where you can get a couple in, one or two, that need to be playing again. There's a lot of teams that just play the same teams, don't they?
100%, mate. I think if they recruit properly in the January window, even if it's loans, just to see them up back in the Prem, to get that booster money that they get, then future's definitely looking bright for the north of England anyway. Let's move on to the Premier League. Arsenal 0, Everton 0. I don't think anybody predicted that. Although the stats is massively in favour of Arsenal, mate, 76% to Everton's 24%. Ultimately, what matters is putting the ball in the back of the net, and Arsenal weren't able to do it. Again, for me personally, Arsenal knew that they needed an out-and-out striker to contend to win the league. They didn't buy one, and I think that that's what's going to end up costing them, mate, not having somebody that's going to put the ball in the back of the net.
Absolutely. If you look, most Arsenal's goals this season have come from set pieces, and that's been massively put in the public eye. So it's for a team like Everton that's doing obviously probably didn't have much of a go. They're getting into that game knowing what to defend, and Everton's always been quite decent on set pieces. Of always Sean Dyche's teams, you always think of big robust teams, don't you? They'll nullify that do it of a T, and the very one-dimensional Arsenal. I mean, against us, another at home, but the main threat was through the corner kicks, wasn't it?
Well, it is. Yeah, and it is a big threat as well, mate. It's I think
it is.
Scored 22 or 23 goals or something through it. You know what I mean? So it is a threat.
Which is bad, really. Which is bad, really, for a team that Arsenal, where you think you're trying to win the league. They should and you've got ISAK-LY, you've got them forward players, but that's bad, really. That when if you look, their top goal scorers is probably the centre halves has got to be up there.
It's only a matter of time now, on a set piece where you get funded. It's the start of the back post, the root of the front post. Sometimes they go into the near post and get a flick on into the back, the back post, or sometimes they go into the back, headed back hour, and surely as a professional you can deal with that. Well, the training ground, you've got to be able to deal with that. So I knew that everybody knows that's what they're doing. It's only a matter of time before they stop that. And then when do they get the goals from? Because honestly, hand on my heart, mate, they were shit against us. We weren't much better, but they were shit. It never looked like there was a goal coming from anywhere.
I think if we had been more brave, I think if we had been more brave in that game, we would have gotten something. What we've done against City. If we had been brave. And it would have beat them 1,000,000%. But it's that's the thing, isn't it? And I was talking to Tim at the weekend there when we went to the game, and he was saying, the thing is, they're that dangerous, from set pieces. He was but how do you stop that if you're zonal marking? I said, well, then you didn't zonal mark. If they are lining up at the back post, like a crowd, he says, but how do you stop them coming in? I says, just put a line of defenders. No, just put a line of defenders from your post across your 6-yard box, up that line. Then they've got to go and run you.
Aye.
Just space it. Run through you. All they've got to run through you. And then they've got to follow you. Aye, make it harder. Make it harder. Or put 3 or 4 to stop so they cannot run through that line of defence. Try summit. Don't just stand and be sitting ducks, because if someone's got to run and jump on you, like what they have, you've got no chance. They're good, and they're good at it.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got off the hook a little bit, Gary, because Liverpool surprisingly hosted Fulham in Anfield. Herrera scores in the 11th minute for Fulham. Robertson gets sent off in the 16th minute. So Liverpool's done well to get a draw, really, because they've lost one of their key players. They get the equaliser just after half-time through Gakpo. Rodrigo Muniz scores for Fulham, but Diego Jota in the 86th minute rescues a point for Liverpool. Not ideal for Liverpool, who are going for the title, but I would say it's a good point, mate. And sorry, just quickly, taking out away from Everton, Neva, they deserve that point.
Yeah, they did.
So well done them. But Liverpool didn't capitalise on it. Arsenal and Chelsea are the main ones chasing them. And Liverpool got a point in the end from which I thought was a good point, really, for them. 10 men.
It is. I've watched that setting off like a couple of times, and I don't know. Like,
What?
I think it's. I do think it's harsh, me. I like as much as I hate Liverpool. Obviously, you've when you've played the game and you watch that much like football and stuff like that. I think it was dead harsh, and I think he was like he'd probably feel aggrieved for that. I could see that one maybe he's getting overturned. Like, I think the only reason they stuck with it is because it was the referee, like it was the on-field decision, wasn't it? And they probably felt that there was enough there to grant it. But even when you watch it back, it doesn't even look like that bad, really. I don't think. I think it's a bit harsh, but mint point gone done to 10 men and then gone behind twice to come back. But that's what champions are made of, aren't they? They've got goal scorers all over the pitch. As much as I say it here, hate to say it, like. But.
I mean, to be honest with you, like and I really hope they didn't win it. So Stevie Gerrard slips again. I mean, sorry, Liverpool slips and dropped 2 points. Who didn't slip though was Newcastle United, and I think they surprised even their own fans. So it'll definitely be Eddie in this week. 4-0 against Leicester. Ruud van Nistelrooy's Leicester. I didn't fancy them. I honestly thought that Leicester would turn them over. And Jacob Murphy in the 30th minute scores. And then second half, and they absolutely tear Leicester a new Arsenal, mate. Bruno Guimaraes scores. Isak scores. And then Jacob Murphy again gets his second. 4-0 to the Toon. Comfortable win. Stats is 59% to 41%. Expected goals for Newcastle was nearly 4. It was 3.78. Leicester's was 0.23. So that tells you everything you need to know. Newcastle absolutely battered them. 27 goal attempts, 11 shots on goal, 9 shots off goal. Newcastle fans must have been in dreamland on Saturday, mate, because I didn't think even the diehardest of Newcastle fans would have expected that.
No, I was talking to a lad yesterday, Johnny Carr, and he was obviously at the game, and he said he went the way he felt, it was like it's paper and a cracks though. That was his honest opinion, and he goes, because although they won the game 4-0, he says it still didn't look like that great. It was still just the stats will obviously say something different from what he just said, but he was at the game and he says he just felt like it was the paper and all the cracks more than anything else. Again, they were just very poor. He says so it let them off the hook a little bit, and Newcastle needed that, but he says, for one of the goals, he says, they lofted the ball at the back post, and Joe Linton and Lewis Hall apparently were both totally free, and the heads of the ball back across the net, and that's when Bruno put it in, and he says he couldn't believe it. He goes, honestly, it's so poor. But Ruud will not be happy with that, I don't think.
Yeah. It's, the one thing's for certain, though, wherever Ruud van Nistelrooy is, there's goals. Whether it's for him or against them, there's goals in the game. I think on average, Gary, there's been at least 3 goals every game that he's managed so far. So, you can guarantee goals in these games. Maybe it's 4-0 because Leicester's gone for it and just getting caught on the counter, because Newcastle on that day, I've said it all along, on that day, their attacking force is really good, when Isak's firing all cylinders. The big thing is for me though, Gary, is come January or the summer, probably most likely, are they going to be able to keep Isak and Guimaraes, because they are 2 players that are in demand. It looks like City are desperate for Guimaraes, probably going to pay 100 million. You've got to sell him, haven't you? Despite no matter how good he might be for you, you've got to sell him to I think for with the FFP and all that.
Because another thing that he was saying was, he was the thing is, in the summer it looked like they had like 60 million to spend on Guehi from Palace. He says no, come January. No, they're saying like they've got to they've got to sell players to be able to spend now because of the way PSR is. I mean, I didn't fully understand it, but that's what he said. And he also said he'd be willing to give like Bruno up and just play Tonali in that role to do that. And if it meant you could free funds up, because a lot of Newcastle fans feel like Tonali is the better player, but Bruno is worth like that sort of money. And if someone's going to come and pay it, then sell him. Like, you know,
I think so. Like you're sitting with Tonali there, who he started at the weekend, by the way. But if you sell Gomez, you've got Tonali. It's not very often you've got somebody just as good to gone into his place. And then you've got Longstaff, and now you're on about like potentially he could be leaving. But Longstaff for me, he's Newcastle through and through. You've got to keep him. It's like Scott McTominay. I wouldn't have sold him. I would have sold Casemiro before him, Ericsson before him. There's loads I would have sold before Scott McTominay. He's Man United through and through. He might not be the greatest, but you now find Wheel that he's going to give 100%. And Amarim would have loved him. I'm telling you.
You know another thing that they were making a point of is what they're saying is like you 4-0 up against Leicester at home, right? And you've got Isak, who is like one sprint away from a hamstring injury or something like that. Well, like, why is Eddie Howe not like taking him off after you're 4-0 up at home after like 50 or 60 minutes?
After 73rd minute, but yeah, right.
And put the young'un on.
Off. You're right.
Like, because that kid's got like that Sula that was brought in. Like, he's not getting any experience. Like, how do you expect him to get better? You're 4-0 up in a Premier League game. Give him half an hour. It's the same with other players. That's where good man management will come in. Like, take your Brunos off, take your Tonali off if he's played a full game, and like use his squad, because you've got Christmas coming up, which is going to be like, it's frantic, isn't it? Like, you've got game after game after game. You're going to pick injuries up, and you're just prolonging a day in that. Like, but even Newcastle fans are saying that. Give them a chance.
When you're comfortable, you've got to get them off. If you lose from 4-0 and there's something sadly the matter, you know what I mean? You need to just get the big boys off and get some young'uns a run, get them some valuable Premier League minutes. That's, it's pretty plain to see, it's pretty obvious. That's what you should be doing. So why he isn't doing that, I've got absolutely no idea, mate. I really haven't. Moving on, massive win for Ipswich where Newcastle go this weekend. Ipswich have never won at home. It'll be interesting to see how Newcastle do down in Ipswich. But this weekend, Ipswich travelled to Molineux to play Wolves. Doherty scored an own goal in the first 15 minutes. Kuna equalises ones each. But Taylor gets a deserving goal for Ipswich, and they take all 3 points. Kuna, by the way, is an absolute disgrace, taking that man's glasses off and that. It's childish. There's kids watching. You're supposed to be a role model. That's what you're getting paid for, not just your talent, but there's millions of people watching all over the world. To do that, it's an absolute disgrace. Got Gary was it O'Neill? Got him the sack. He got sacked after that game. 3 very important points for Ipswich. Good win on the road for them, that, mate.
It is. I mean, Ipswich has done all right this season, I feel like. They've been unlucky in games where they've just missed up, but they haven't done too bad against like even the top teams. Like they've got a draw against us. They pushed Liverpool all the way. Obviously, they've won at the weekend away. They beat Spurs away. So, mint results, I mean, there's not many teams that'll go into them grounds and win games. But they'll give Newcastle a game at the weekend.
That's what I'm
especially
saying,
at home.
You'll see this weekend, like what you got, like me pals texting us, saying, good luck. But I'm telling you, like, we're gonna stuff you, Newcastle. I'm saying I think you've come at the wrong time. I think this result that we got will push us on. Whereas I think the result that you've got, nobody expected. But the test is this weekend. Ipswich is a hard grunt to go into. If you win that, then it's going to be a great game between we. And like I'm looking forward to the fight throughout the season. But I don't know. I cannot see Newcastle taking 3 points away. They might take one, but I cannot see them taking all three.
No, I don't think they've had really many high score matches like doing that. They kind of keep it tight, but then they've got stuff to offer. They've got a couple of good little wingers and that. I think they'll give them a game.
Whoopsie. Finishing off Saturday, 5:30 kickoff. It was at the City Ground. It was Nottingham Forest 2, Aston Villa 1. Duran scores again for Villa. Can't stop scoring him. I don't know if he started or not, but
No, he did.
Chris Wood had a goal disallowed. Milenkovic scores, making it 1-1. Then Anthony Langa in the 93rd minute secures all 3 points for Forest. Like I've got like these bookmarks on Twitter, and everybody's like blowing smoke up that Chelsea's manager's arse. And somebody's like commented, right? It's a mint point, saying, "Hold on a minute, like you've got Nottingham Forest there, 4 points behind Maraska, who spent 1.3 billion on a squad. You've got Forest, who spent like nothing really, 4 points behind them. So the credit not be gone to Nino. You're like, and I agree, it should. You would expect if somebody come to me or you, Gary, and went, there you go, and there's a squad, 1.3 billion, make them play. Like, you should be making them play, Gary. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with Forest, he's got a bunch of lads, let's not be too harsh, who are decent. You know, they're not like world beaters. And they're not worth, like, the market values isn't worth, like, what their players is worth. And he's sitting where he's sitting in the league. I think he's done absolutely tremendous, mate.
He has. He's just got them working hard, hasn't he? That's the thing. They're not great. I mean, I know we got beat off them. We should never have gotten beat in that game, but we did. But you've got to give them credit. I mean, the thing is, like I said at the end of last season, the way Pochettino had Chelsea playing, I thought going into the season that they looked like a team that was growing. So I'm not too surprised to see Chelsea up there. I thought they would be like sort of the surprise of the season or not. I just didn't expect the Man City drop off as much as it has. I thought they would drop off because of the aging, but I just didn't realise it was be as big as it was. So I knew it looks. But then Liverpool, but Liverpool and Alina, they're picking like points up where they could be dropping easy. They could have lost games, and they're getting away with it a little bit. It's getting away, isn't it? So what can you say? Chelsea's
my only hope of them not winning the league. I think they're really strong. I think the only thing that can get into them is if there's unrest, and the unrest comes from contract renewals, shit like that. Van Dijk gets injured, the contract renewals haven't gone as planned. People now, the trouble is what you've got is, right? People now will be looking at that Fulham and Liverpool game and thinking, well, Fulham's gone to Anfield and they're getting a point, so we can. Whereas before, they were like, fucking hell, it's Anfield this weekend. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They've opened that gate up to everybody to think, well, hold on, if they can, we can. They're not much better than us. So they'll be up against harder games now, I think.
It's a confidence thing, isn't it?
Massively, mate. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But
the thing is, am I right in thinking Salah's out of contract in the summer?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if Real Madrid or Barcelona come in January, they could take him, couldn't they?
But not till the summer.
But, I mean, what? So they come in again, right? 10 million.
10 million will buy you. The deal can be done then, but you can't come until the summer.
Is that what it is?
Aye. Like, he's got to see his contract out. You can't...
unless they pay it.
Aye. Unless they pay his contract. They're not going to do that if his contract's up. But if somebody comes in and says, look, when your contract's up, they haven't signed out yet. What you're on at the minute, 300 grand. Right, look, we'll give you 650 grand a year for the next 2 year, a week for the next 2 year. He's not signing a contract with them. Not unless they match it. He's only got a year or two left, really, at the top of his game. And then he's going to start sliding down the hill, isn't he?
Yeah, aye, well, that's the normal trajectory, isn't it? So you would expect so, but I'm very surprised they haven't given him a contract.
But Gary, like, do you give a man a contract who's 30-odd year old? And he scored a lot of goals for you, but like, it's not.
I think you at least give him another year, though, didn't you? For what he's done for you.
That's what you do. But they're trying to get him to sign on a fucking contract that
cheap.
Aye, because they're thinking, well, now you're coming to the end of your playing career. So rather than rewarding him for what he's done for them, they're kind of saying, well, look, we will sign you, but we only want to give you that because you're coming to the end. We don't think like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of them.
Then he's top Alexander-Arnold
and Van Dijk. Oh, they're both up. So
he's top goal scorer in the Premier League, isn't he?
Who?
He's top goal scorer in the Premier League, isn't he?
This year.
Salah.
Aye.
Like, I mean, how? Yeah. he's got a bit of a point, hasn't he?
Aye, and for his loyalty over the years, like
he deserves it.
He came there and he's hit the ground running. He was, he was.
He'll get to Saudi him, I think.
Nah, I think PSG won him.
Do they?
I think he's still got a year or two left at the top, but he's on the decline now, isn't he? He's definitely on the decline.
It should be.
Yeah, so and that's what
it doesn't look at though.
Liverpool's got very similar owners to us,
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like, they're not honouring lightly anymore. They're looking for the bank balance, and can we bring the next salary in who's 21-year-old, give him a quarter of that, who'll score goals, or do it? You know what I mean? Like that's probably what they're looking at. But hey, that's what I mean. It'll bring unrest into the changing room because you've got 3 top players there, 3 main players really. Arnold and Salah, all with their contracts up this summer. So I'd like to be a fly on the wall. I'll flick through these comments. There's not a lot tonight, Geordie Toon for Life saying, evening lads, it's harder catching you live than Rashford starting or staying at Man United. I honestly don't know what's going on with this, Gary. I do everything on there, but then I couldn't even find my video from last week, so I don't even know. Liam Crisp, City lost again, ole, ole. City lost again. City lost again. City lost again. Ole, ole. Hard work is talent when talent don't work hard. 100%. Look at Marcus Rashford. Geordie 2 for life. I've got to say I feel for Mount. The lad has been through hell. Man U deserved to win the derby. Yes, a poor game, but Man U with a better team. You know what, mate? Hats off to you because I wholeheartedly agree. I was sitting in the standing in the stands with Gary, and there was a couple of kids there. And they were, and I said to them, didn't I, Gary? I said, let's not finish this. I'm telling you, this has got like a different ending. There's something coming because we're pushing. It's the first time we've gone there and we've had them on the back foot. Like, they didn't deserve to be leading, right? But we didn't deserve to be leading either at that point. Let's be honest. But we didn't deserve to lose that game. Did we deserve to win it? I don't know, but I'll take it every day of the week.
We had the better chances, certainly, didn't we?
Aye, 100%. Tom Dixon, evening, Melly, and Geordie 2 for life. Salah is a moments player. He's out of the game for long periods, then bang. Good point. Park the bus against us. Shit. Trouble ahead at City. We're going to get to that. We're going to leave that one to last. Brighton against Crystal Palace. Nobody expected this, neither me. Brighton 1, Crystal Palace 3. Chalobah saw scoring for Palace before half-time. Then a goal disallowed for a foul to make it 3-0, but they then did go on to make it 3-0 through Saw. And then Goyi again scores an own goal. It's a good job the Toon didn't get them. You know, like...
he scored a goal for the Toon now, didn't he?
He's just scoring own goals. That was a shot. Fucking hell. I'll finish with the messages, but yes, this is Sam Smart. Haha, yes, Millie. Sam Smart is called Snake Hips. Snake Hips Sam, that's how I know him. I hope you're well, mate. I don't know why you call him Snake Hips, but I've got a good idea. I hope you're doing well, pal. So a good result for Crystal Palace on the road, mate. 3 points at Brighton. There's not many teams going to Brighton and bring all 3 points to them, like.
Nah, very, very, very hard grunt again like that. Not for being like for the fans or anything. They just normally play really well at home, don't they? But I mean, Palace, they haven't been great lately either, have they? So to pick 3 points up away from there, they'll be buzzing with that, and they probably needed it because they haven't been doing the greatest. Like so, aye, good 3 points at us here.
Good 3 points. We're going to Southampton. Southampton against Tottenham. I wasn't wanting this result because I thought we're going there on Thursday in the Carabao Cup, but they absolutely swept them aside. Didn't they? It's been tense times for Spurs. Again, they're like us. The different like Daniel Levy. He's crippling the club. And a lot of managers have said the same. They're quite happy with just being like a mediocre club and bringing in all the sponsors. Like I tell you, Gary, that kid said that if the NFL hadn't signed the contract with them, they would never have built that new Spurs stadium. And it seems to be that that's what they're more bored about. But Southampton really, really struggling. Them again, they sacked their manager after their game at the weekend. Madison scored, then Son, Kulusevski again, Saw, and at half time, James Madison makes it 5-0. But what we've just said about Newcastle, right, is he
Keep running over the cracks.
Right? He didn't make the subs when it was 4-0. These are 5-0 up at half time against Southampton. He makes the sub on half time. He brings Son off for Johnson, right? But then the next substitution's on 77 minutes. Like, just bring all your main players off. Keep them. You've got a massive game against Man United on Thursday, which could see you getting into the semi-final. And you've let the majority of your first team play the whole 90 minutes and you're 5-0 up against Southampton. That, to me, is just fucking stupid management.
And who do they play at the weekend?
Weekend coming.
I'm sure they've got a big game on Sunday.
It's Liverpool at home.
So that's what I mean. So, like, it's crazy that. Unless he's thinking of feeling like a lesser team against us and he's not that bothered. But for a team like Spurs that have never won a trophy in God knows how long, like, it's bad management. It's a free hit, isn't it? Because there's no replays. It's just the best team on the night, and you would think, like you say, I mean, if you're 5-0 up at half time, they've only played 45 minutes. Change five of them. Your 5 best players, get the kids on. And then the other ones where you can take your wingers off, take your forwards off where they're gonna like do the most running and stuff like that. Rest them, and the rest just man management within the game. Crazy. Absolutely
wrong.
crazy.
I like the bloke. Like he just seems like a normal bloke. Like in his interviews, yeah, mate. Fuck no, mate, and like he's just chilled out. Doesn't get stressed and out. I like him, but that's. I
thought he was Australian.
You're right, Mike. Chelsea 2, Brentford 1. Cucurella, the little prick. I hate him, honestly. I really, really dislike that kid. I do. He's like Bernardo Silva, isn't he? Just a little dickhead. Cucurella scores 1-0. Nico Jackson makes it 2. Mbembo gets 1 too late for Brentford, 2-1. Good 3 points. Brentford's a good, solid outfit. And Chelsea keep the pressure on Liverpool, more importantly.
It did. From what I've seen, like obviously Chelsea won the game, but Brentford didn't have put them under pressure in the second half. Like apparently they were unlucky not to get somebody to that game. Good win for Chelsea though, 2-1. Brentford's not a bad side. And put him Bueno, he just keeps scoring for fun, doesn't he?
Hi. Yeah.
All the time.
I mean, there is another game that happened on Sunday, right? But I tell you what, let's fast forward to Monday, and we'll go back to Sunday in a minute, right? Bournemouth 1, West Ham 1. Pretty boring game, to be honest. I watched it, I fell asleep on the couch, to be honest. I woke up and it was freezing. Paqueta scores a penalty for West Ham, 1-0. We've got 3 minutes to hold out, and they cannot hold out. Unai or someone scores in the 90th minute for Bournemouth, and probably a fair result because before I fell asleep, it was pretty shit. And then, I mean, 51% to 49%. Bournemouth had a lot more shots. Bournemouth, actually, they did have quite a few chances, like could have scored quite a few, Semedo and stuff. But West Ham, I think he's probably going to be the next manager sacked. I'm guessing, like.
Totally agree. I just think you get yourself in the lead in a game away from home on 80 odd minutes, and then to lose it like 87 minutes, and then to concede an equaliser like 2 minutes later. I mean, you're playing Premiership football here. Like, you've got to be able to like see that up. I mean, you've got to be like I just didn't get it. Like, these are meant to be like the pinnacle, like of players, and it's madness to be able to do that. You've got to be able to look in and just go right. We'll just see this out here,
especially with a form. Do you know what I mean? Like, the form's shit. So you think like, right, we've got the lead. You just bring them straight out the sideline. Like instead of celebrating, come here. Listen,
make it hard.
It's fucking tight. Get the ball, get it in the corner. Waste time. Like, they just didn't let them anywhere near you. You didn't want this crowd. You didn't want them to create any chances, and the crowd to get up. And 3 minutes later, they're conceding the equaliser. That's, you know what I mean? It's mental. But Gary, let's bash on, right? Because we've got 3.5 minutes to talk about the most important game of the weekend. Off to the Etihad, 4:30 kickoff. Manchester City 1, Manchester United 2. Pretty boring game the first half, to be fair. We're just cancelling each other out. None of them looked like scoring. He said to me 2 minutes beforehand, you said, you know what's going to happen here? They're going to end up fucking scoring like a shit goal. Bang on, 2 minutes later, deflected cross off, what do you call him? De Bruyne. And we'll just get caught standing. He rises, bump, scores the goal. Gvardiol at 1-0 half time. Still though, right? We're inside having a drink at half time. We're thinking like, we're totally in this. They're not like they are fucking poor. There's no doubt about it. You can tell that they are on a massive bad run of form because any other time we're going there, I'm not scared to admit it, we're on the back foot constantly. They're attacking with, but you just never ever. I've never ever felt like we were under threat. Like it felt like we were gonna miss every chance anyway. They were just shit. Like, let's be in tits. Foden, like, I've never seen him play a poorer game. Like, it was just, I don't know what's going on. They bring Jack Grealish on. Again, very zero impact. They've got that Doku, who's just like Alan said, maximum. That's who he reminds us of. But the positive, mate, is Imorum. You kept saying to me, look at him. And like,
I was watching him like the whole game. And I kept saying to you, I was like, even when we got that penalty and when we scored, and I said to you, I says, look at the manager. I says, he's not happy with the draw here. I says, he wants to win, and he was right on them. He was pumping his fists, and he was shouting. And how you seen for the goal, what he says, he shouts at Martinez, Ahmad, and he puts the ball through, and he's like,
mint. But that's what I love about him. That's what I was about to say. 78 minutes come. Highland off, Missouri off, Delict off, Euro, Anthony Xerxes changes the whole lot.
Fresh.
Fernandez gets the penalty. Like, excellent from Ahmad again. They make a substitution City. They bring Savinho on, Gundogan on, Savinho off. And then it starts from Ugarte. The ball's up in the air. It's fucking like miles in the air. Brings it down like a peach. Backheels it to Martinez. Boom. He hangs onto it. Ahmad makes the run. Honestly, like, I cannot explain the feeling. Like, I was going to say I feel sorry for anybody that left on like 83, 84 minutes, but I didn't. It's stupid. Like, you shouldn't do it. Like, why would you do it? We're very much in the game. There's one goal in it. I don't think many did, mind, but some people would have left and missed that. They are like memories that I'll cherish forever. It was unbelievable. Even getting kept in for an hour after the game. We didn't give a shit. It was just like, it was mint. And I tell you what it is, like, he came out and said, let's not, let's not get carried away with Ahmad and spoil him. He's a young'un and stuff. And let's not do that. But he is special, him, like. The ball.
What can he anyway?
It sticks to his foot. When he's got the ball, you never ever think he's going to lose it. Ever. You didn't,
No,
like. And that's how we used to feel when we used to watch Schools and, like, our old players, like Bruce, and you never felt like we were ever going to lose. They were going to lose the ball. Like, you just thought that they would pick the right pass every time. Special mention to Harry Maguire now. Unbelievable. Like, playing in that back three, to go through what he's went through, to come back into that, he just suits it to a teammate. But like, I think the biggest shout out I've got to do, and then I'll let you speak, is Ruben Amorim. Like, yes, like, he's getting things wrong and stuff, but you know what's meant? Because if that's Ten Hag, that game ends 1-1 each. We get that penalty, we'll potentially lose it because we'll sit back and we'll think we're going to take a point away from the Etihad. He didn't want that. He was like, no. Fucking at it. High line, get at them. That's a fucking winner in this. And he was right. Mint.
Absolutely. Honestly, like you say, I can only echo that. It was probably one of the best feelings, apart from when we beat them 2-1. It was the same sort of thing at Old Trafford. 1-0 done, and then that's the second time we've done that. But to take it away from home, but like you say, I totally echo that. Even when they scored, like, I never ever felt like we were ever going to lose that game. Like, half time, right the way through, I was saying here, I was like, we're not going to lose this game. We're just not. And even getting towards the end, you were saying you were going, there's something else in this game for us. And you always felt it because, like, the person, I don't know if it's personnel on the team or what, if it's the manager that's pushing it into them, but they never ever stopped trying. Like, and that's been raw for us over the last 10 years. We're not used to seeing that, especially away at City. Like, it was meant to see, and you just hope it continues, like, into the rest of the season. That's how like.
I honestly think that game there,
a kickstart.
It's got to push it, and you know what it is. You drop Rashford and Garnacho. If he loses that game, mate, you realise how much pressure he's under for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody's going to say, well, you drop Rashford and Garnacho. That's giving them the upper hand. He's now got the upper hand over them. So whatever they've done wrong, he's dropped them. We beat City at the home ground. Like, you fucking listen to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know what I'm doing, and you're not fucking pulling your weight. And if you didn't pull your weight, then you're out the door. And I think that's what Ratcliffe said to him when he's brought him in. Look, these need a fucking massive overhaul. You are the gaffer. Go in.
You've got to be ruthless.
Played them all in all different positions and give them all a lot of game time. Find out who we want to keep and who you want to sell, and that's what he's doing, mate. And if they didn't pull their fucking socks up, they're out the door, and that's what we've needed for a long time.
And if you look, they'll be
whack and run like it doesn't care.
They'll be looking as well, and the manager will look at them and he'll say, "If you like." Ahmad's on like 70, 70 grand a week. And if you're saying, look, he's on 60, 70 grand a week, and you're nowhere near the level he's at, you want to be playing in front of him, you got to work harder because he's miles ahead of you two. Miles.
Yes. Well, crack on, Gary. Although I could talk all night. Honestly, I've been like a Cheshire cat. Honestly, mate, I've got no voice.
City lost again.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to see United win away. Hey, jingle bells. Tom Dixon. I think Chelsea are going to win the league. I hope you're right, mate. I can't stop laughing at Gary's headphones. It's like, poor Ben's got to wait to play a cod. Bloody hell, Millie. He's sounding more like a sand dancer than an Aussie. Listen. Can't grab another drink quickly. We're going to play the ads who people quite, the sponsor our show, and we're very grateful for it. So if you need any of these, get in touch with them and tell them you see them on Talking Tough. You'll get a discount. Cheers. 2 minutes. If you'd like to advertise with us like these following businesses have done, then get in touch with Melly or Gary. It's only $5 a show, and we're hitting on average, I would say, between 10 and 20,000 people per month. Support us and we'll help support you. Melly's Carpets and Beds, 63 Station Road in Ashington. Free measures are available daily. You can call 01670 632216 or find us on Facebook. Melly's Carpets and Beds. Laying our reputation one recommendation at a time. BA Commercials and Northeast Metals Limited, where you can get almost any used car part. The best prices is paid here for scrap vehicles and metals. They have containers to rent short and long term from just £30 per week, as well as plant hire and also commercial buildings for rent. Call during working hours on 07825 405 772. GB Glazing and Joinery Limited, based in Ashington, Northumberland, but covering the whole of the Northeast. CERTAS approved, who specialise in windows, doors, warm roofs, kitchen, conversions, and conservatories. Call Gary during working hours on 07825 160 777. A1 Fire Stopping and Drilling Services, who specialize in installation and maintenance of passive fire protection, fire stopping, and thermal installation systems. You can email your query to Martin. That's at martin.gallen@a1firestop.co.uk, or call during working hours on 07751 429 045. A1 Fire Stopping Services. Ashington Properties, whose company mission is to create high-quality homes for the local community and Northumberland, and whose company values are transparency, trust, and loyalty. You can email them at ashingtonproperties@gmail.com or call during working hours on 07985 203 094. And last but not least, most cuts. You can call Lewis on 07519 07787. You can find him on Facebook, and you can also book through the Booksy app. You'll find them down in Newbiggin on Front Street, straight opposite Chisholm Bookmakers. Always look fresh when you get cut off Moz. Yes, lad. So before we move forward and look forward to this weekend's results, we have the EFL quarter-finals. So first up, tomorrow night, we've got Arsenal against Crystal Palace. How do you see that going, Gary?
You can't. I cannot say anything else but an Arsenal win. I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal. Yeah, I think we'll be convincing win, although Palace is off the back of a good win at Brentford at Brighton. I think Arsenal will probably win. I don't think it'll be much. I think I'm probably going to go for 2-1 Arsenal. Moving on, St James's Park, Newcastle host Brentford.
Newcastle. I'm gonna say a draw against the penalties this one.
Draw and who'll win?
I'm gonna say Brentford on pens. I think Newcastle make changes.
I probably think the opposite. I think Newcastle will win. I'm going to go for 2-0 to Newcastle. Just because they've won 4-0 through the week. And then, obviously, this is the chance of a semi-final again. It's all they've got to play for, really. I mean, although the FA Cup's still there. I'm going to go for Newcastle win. Southampton against Liverpool. Southampton surprisingly still in the cup. But the host, the league leaders. How do you see that, Gan?
Oh, I think it'll be convincing 3-0 win to Liverpool.
I don't know.
The manager list as well.
Already Southampton or not? Or was it caretaker? I'd like to see Southampton beat them. Like Liverpool struggle going to Southampton. They did, in the league. Didn't I say that in the league? And they scraped through the win.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look. Where's the head? Aye, 3-2 to Liverpool in the league. So I don't know. I think it'll be a closer game than what everybody thinks. I think Liverpool will win, but I think it'll be a lot closer. And then Thursday night, the mighty Reds. Fucking come on, go down to Tottenham. How do you see that, Gun?
I think it'll be close. I think Man U will win 5-0. No, I think it'll be. I think 2-1 Man United.
I am going to go for 2-0. I think we'll beat them. There's a lot of negativity around the club at the minute. They're a freak result of the weekend, in my opinion. I think Man United's on one. They beat Man City. Rashford and Garnacho would have been running their fucking socks off this week to get back into that squad for this game.
They'll be in tomorrow night. Thursday night.
Tomorrow night. And, we've got Ugarte coming to his best form. The defenders are doing well. I just can't see nothing else apart from a Man United win. So potentially in the semi-final, see it all against the plan. What I said anyway. Man United, you could have Man United, Liverpool, Newcastle, and Arsenal in the semi-final. That's a cracking lineup, for the AFL Cup. They'll love that.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll love that.
Yes.
Obviously, they'll probably want City in there somewhere, but at the minute, nah.
They're not worthy.
They're not worthy. So that's the AFL roundup. Moving on quickly. 52 minutes deep already, Gary. It flies by this. I was knackered, beforehand. I thought, but I love it every time I come on. It's just great crack. Starting the weekend off, it's 12:30 kickoff. Man City have to go down Aston Villa. How do you see that going?
I can see Villa trying to bully them in this game, I think Villa's, being at home, I think Villa's going to, gun at them and see what, and I think City's not going to like it again. I'm going to go Villa 3-1.
Villa 3-1?
Aye.
I'm going to go 2-1. I'm going to go the same.
I just think City's very, very vulnerable at the minute, and I think it could get worse before it gets better, if I'm being honest.
Well, you just cannot see a way out. You're playing Man United. It's the biggest game that's your chance to turn it on its head. You beat them 3-0, blow away, and they couldn't do it. And I guarantee you 100%, they were trying to do it. They even had a fucking massive flag for Guardiola, man. We love you, massive Guardiola flag. Still couldn't do it. At the best 11 out there, could not do nothing.
It was pure lack of confidence, so isn't it? They haven't got the confidence to get past players. I mean, Maguire had Blum and Hoyland in his back pocket the whole game. Unbelievable. But I Villa win anyways.
It's unbelievable. I'll tell you all the line. Haaland is not as good as what everybody makes out. He scores goals.
He's a good goal scorer, but he just didn't get chances today.
He's in the right position, but 9 times out of 10, these were literally passing it. He had no today apart from kick the ball in the back of the net. You know what I mean? When his back's against the wall, it's proven that he's not as good as what everybody makes him out to be. And he was piss poor at the weekend, in my opinion. I really need to stop swearing because I think there's a couple of the kids on from the football team as well. So I'll just get passionate, mate. I'm sorry if you heard any foul language. Brentford against Nottingham Forest.
I'm going to say Brentford 2-1.
I think I'll probably go for a draw. Score draw. 1-1. Ipswich against Newcastle.
I'm going to say Ipswich 2-1.
Ipswich 2-1. Yes, I think I'll actually echo that, Gary. I think I'll echo that. I think I'll go 2-1. Ipswich will get their first home win of the season. West Ham against Brighton, which I think is probably the West Ham manager's last game if he gets beat.
Mm-hmm. And for that reason, I think they might pull it out the bag. I'm going to say 2-1 to West Ham.
I'm going to go the other way, mate. I'm going to go 2-1 to Brighton.
You think it'll be his last game?
It'll be his last game. I think Brighton's backs will be. They'll be gutted off the weekend's result, and the retaliation will be beating West Ham at home. 2-1 Brighton. I'm gone. So then we've got repeat of the EFL Cup on the last game of Saturday, but it's the other way around. It's Crystal Palace are at home and they're hosting Arsenal.
Yeah. Palace at home, they're not bad, and they'll make it difficult. I'm going to say 1-1.
1-1?
1-1.
I'm going to go for a 2-1 Palace win.
I could see that as well, like.
Aye. Could go either way, couldn't it, that?
Aye, it's like...
Goes on what people think.
Aye. Or Arsenal will absolutely blow them away, but I just cannot see it at the minute. Did you see him take... he took Odegaard off at the weekend on 60 or 70 minutes or something? And, like, all the commentators were like, what's he doing? What's he doing here? Like, you need to win a game and you're taking your best playmaker off. Like, that's when you know. And he said it was tactical reasons, and it wasn't like for injury or anything. That's when you know, like, I don't know, sum it up. Like, it's not great.
No.
So
it's the best player by a monkey mile, mate.
By a million miles.
Sunday, 2:00 kickoff, Everton against Chelsea.
I think Chelsea will do what Arsenal couldn't, and I think Chelsea will win 3-1.
Chelsea will win 3-1. I'm gonna go for a Desmond Tutu.
Desmond Tutu.
Yeah. Although, I want Chelsea to win because they've got best chance of Liverpool not winning it. But Everton just seem to be pulling some results lately. So I'm going to go for a 2-2. Chelsea's out, like they have had a bit of form, but they've always been vulnerable, haven't they? Like you think that the games you expect them to win, they didn't, or they struggle. So
they're just outscoring teams. That's what they're doing. They're conceding plenty, but they're just outscoring. Yep,
yeah. Right. Fulham against Southampton.
Fulham will win that. I think comfortably. I think 2-0.
2-0. That's exactly what I was going to say, Gary. 2-0 Fulham. Leicester against Wolves.
Wolves will not have a manager in there. Is Kuna been suspended? Oh.
I don't know. I haven't heard now.
It's looking like it probably should be.
Definitely should be. Shocking.
It is for all the talent you've got, like you say, like you've got to be respectful after the game. I'm gonna say Leicester 2-1.
I was thinking a draw 1-1.
Nice.
Right. Close game. Man United. Welcome Bournemouth to the Theatre of Dreams.
Potentially a difficult game, but I think depending on how they run through the weekends, but I think we'll ring changes through the week. And I think we'll win this game. I think we'll control it a lot better than what we did last season against them, and I think we'll probably win with 3-1. Probably concede.
I'm going 4-0.
Title charge. I'm not getting carried away. 4-0.
Carried away, honestly.
Nine goals in 2 games.
Tottenham against Liverpool. Good game to end the weekend. How do you see that, Gun?
This is going to be one of them games that could be like game of the season, I think, because both of them have got mint firepower. They're both mint top end of the pitch, and there's goals in this game because they're not great at defending, but they're both class going forward. I'm going to go 3-3.
I can see a lot of goals. So I'm going to go 3-2 to Tottenham. I just think they'll get beat off us through the week, and then they'll retaliate on Liverpool. They'll beat them 3-2. So to answer your question before, actually, Erling Haaland and Mohamed Salah are the joint top scorers with Cole Palmer. So they're both on 13 and Palmer's on 11. Assists is Saka on 10. Salah, who's got just as many assists as he has goals, has got 9. And then our very own beloved Amad Diallo has got 6. Yellow cards this season. Cucurella, little knob, and tops the league. And Southampton's Jack Stevens has got the most red cards. In terms of the league, you've got Liverpool sitting on top on 36 points with a game in hand, so potentially 5 points ahead of Chelsea. Then you've got Arsenal chasing them, 4 points behind them, with Nottingham Forest only 2 points behind them, and then Man City only a point behind them. Potentially 12 points off Liverpool if they win the game in hand. And then it drops down into Bournemouth, Villa, Fulham, Brighton, Tottenham, Brentford, and Newcastle, who are all sitting on 23, 24, and 25 points, respectively. Then down into Man United on 22, West Ham, Palace, Everton, and Leicester. The bottom 3 consists of Ipswich, Wolves, and Southampton, who have only 5 points from 16 games. Just not good enough. Not good enough for Wolves neither. But the good thing for Wolves is they're literally only 2 wins away from getting out the relegation zone. So the bottom is looking quite tasty. I know Man United sitting in 13th there. But a win takes them up to here. And then another win takes them up to here. You're literally 2 wins, mate, away from like being in the top 6. Do you know what I mean? So it looks bad, but it isn't as bad as
it could have been.
Could be, yeah. You lose that at the weekend, like you're sitting on 19 points, and then that's
7
bad.
above relegation.
Aye. You know what I mean? It's just it's not good enough, is it? We've hit the hour mark, but I just want to quickly share this, Gary. Bear with us. I like to just I bookmark a few tweets on X there. So make sure that it's sharing before I do. Yes, so back to winning ways for Newcastle United. There it is, look. The famous changing room photograph. And it's very much Eddie in this weekend. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a tweet.
Look at what I've just sent you.
Garnacho has won the 2024 Puskás Award, mate, and rightfully so.
Are you reading what I've just sent you?
What is it?
Have a look.
Okay.
Can you put that on that?
Better not be Dory.
No, it's not.
Right, I'll put it on. This is what Gary's just sent. You're seeing it for the first time, like I am. See what it is. Oh.
The things you can cook into. You've got to slide it to the side. You've got to slide
What's that,
it.
Gary? Gary, what's that?
You've got to slide it to the side, man.
Slide it to the side. Nah, can't do it. Can't do it. Where was I? What is it? Put yours on. Put yours on.
Two things you can cook in under 3 minutes. That's what it says. Right? And then when you slide it to the side, and then you slide to the side again, and it's Man City, Amad Diallo.
115 seconds. That's what it was. Did you see that, Gary? We were there, weren't we? Everton away. Mm-hmm. He's won the 2024 Puskás Award there.
Rightly so.
Alejandro, absolutely, definitely. Putting Didier Drogba above Wayne Rooney is criminal. So, Scouts here, has done his greatest Premier League forwards. He's got Henry there at the top. Salah, Ronaldo, Cantona, Drogba, Rooney, Shearer, Hazard, Bergkamp, and Bale. And Drogba was good, wasn't he? But Rooney should be in the top 3, like, for me. And also, who should be on there is Andy Cole. Andy Cole. You don't think?
I don't see how Mo Salah's above like Sir Alan Shearer on it either.
Bonkers,
I don't get it.
Then the massive talking point is Marcus Rashford, mate. Marcus Rashford. Asked whether he's staying or leaving. For me personally, I think I'm ready for a new challenge in the next steps. When I leave, it's going to be no hard feelings. You're not going to have any negative comments from me about Manchester United. That's me as a person. If I know that a situation is already bad, I'm not going to make it worse. I've seen how other players have left in the past, and I don't want to be that person. When I leave, I'll make a statement, and it will be from me. So it looks like, mate, he's actually leaving. You know, like, what's your thoughts on that?
Champion.
Nah, me as well. To be fair, you know, like,
I don't think he's
got the world at his feet, and he's he just seems to be. I don't know.
He hasn't got. He's got. I don't know. He's got like that Mbappe like work ethic. It's not going to work in our system. It didn't work in Ten Hag's system. But we want players that's going to run for the team and press. Like, there's no team in the Premier League that's got like luxury players like that anymore. There's just not. And when the English teams will play like the Spanish teams this year, we'll see that because they'll blow them away. Like so Liverpool and that, especially, like they're the best in the league. They obviously, but you cannot be whacking on the pitch just picking 300 grand up and expecting to whack and doing what you want. The games went way too far past that stage. Can play in the Farmers League.
I think that's probably where he's going to end up. I just think he's mental.
PSG.
Absolute legend. Like, he had the world at his feet. All you've got to do is put 100% in every week, Marcus. You know, like,
Can't be asked.
Honestly, Kevin, now what's wrong? There must be something mad on his personal life. He's a good manager after good manager. And he just can't do it anymore. And it's sad. You're seeing Amad Diallo there, you know, like, he loves it. I just didn't think he doesn't want to be running flat out all the time. Like, but that's tough shit, mate. It's football. It's a sport. Like, that's what you need to be doing. And if you're not doing it, you're not on my team. See ya. That's what you're getting paid for, ultimately, isn't it?
That's it, I.
Put 100% in. That's all the fans ask and all the manager asks. Why can you not? Why can you not do it? Unless you're physically unable to do it, why can you not put 100% in? If you do that, we'll come up and say, fucking, you know, Bruno gives the ball away a lot. Any amount of times he'll say, fucking hell, man. Bruno. Again. Aye. But you cannot knock his work ethic is unbelievable. And his persistence, 9 times out of 10, always either results in a goal or a penalty or a free kick in a dangerous position or an assist. Always, it's persistent.
How many times in the last 4 or 5 weeks has Ahmed chased a ball down and getting a goal over it? Like, all the time. Like, probably the last 4 or 5 games, like, easily. He's close players doing it and won the ball back to win with games in probably just about every single game. And they can't be bothered to do it. They can't be bothered to do it. Wait, that's what I mean. But that is the basics. That's the basics.
That is the basics.
Like, running is the bare minimum. That is the bare minimum that a footballer should be doing. What, you can run? Fucking hell. You should be able to run. You're an athlete. Like, if you cannot run, then there's something wrong. Then you've got to be a brilliant footballer on top of that. But the least you can do is run. I can't be asked to run.
He was mint. done this, like COVID came, did that thing for the kids, and he's never been the same since. He hasn't.
Too much.
I don't know
Too
what
much
it is.
moolah.
Too much money, good social life, lost an interest. The main thing is having the wrong people around you. Look at Gaza. Look at Gaza. You had the wrong people around him. He could have been like, well, he is a legend, but his career could have went so much differently.
Absolutely,
That's it, Gary. We've done an hour and 10 minutes. I just want to thank everybody who's joined with. Thank you, as always, mate. If you're into darts, obviously the World Darts Championship starting off, and we've got the local hero, Chris Dobie, our pal. He starts on Saturday at 4 o'clock, live on Sky. Show your support for the dope start. Good luck this year, mate. Hope you gone all the way.
Good luck, Dobie.
Yeah. Thanks very much. We'll see you next Monday, Gary?
I will do one next Monday before Christmas. We'll put our Santa hats on and that and have some old wine, sure.
All right. Cheers, everybody. Take care.
Yes. Good night, lads. Bye.
Good night.